going to go live in the next few minutes, and Elena Gross of Language Colours is going to show us around the festival. Now, we are kind of working on a very risky way here, because we're doing IG Live. We only really just got a lot of the news and a lot of the things that we have to work with in the last couple of days. So we're relying on designers to be there for us to interview them. We have some who have already agreed, some who haven't actually turned up, but we are going to be doing a wee bit of hunting as well. So please bear with us if there are any technical hitches. If you hear a lot of kind of nervous laughter, that's what it is. That's me laughing and terrified and, you know, just that sort of thing. So I'm just waiting for Elena of Language Colours. Language Colours is an English language school in Moscow, and they are fantastic. Elena is is the senior teacher there, and she's going to do a great job with us. So I'm just waiting for her to invite herself. Again, I've never actually done this before, so we'll see how it actually works. Elena, if you're there, feel free to tag in, if you will. There you go. So, excuse me as I get a little bit close. And so that's it. We're just waiting for Language Colours to join us now. She's been accepted into the chat. And here we go. Privet, Elena. Hello from Scotland.
Yeah, hello from Moscow.
Oh, Elena, can everyone hear Elena?
Yeah, can everyone hear me?
Elena, I don't think we can hear you.
Oh, really?
See, technical hitches, aren't they great?
Yeah, so still no one.
So you can hear Elena? That's very important.
Yeah, can you hear me, please? Can you tell me? Yeah, perfect. Everyone can hear, right?
So, yeah. Yes, we can. Well, isn't that interesting? Because I certainly can. Yeah, I can see you laughing, which is always good.
Yeah, but definitely
so,
you should hear me.
Try this and see.
Yeah. Okay.
Elena, can you?
Yes.
Okay. Now I can hear you. My mic is unplugged, so I might sound a little bit weird. Apologies. Live TV.
Okay, so I'm really happy to be here in Moscow at this festival. It's called Gardens and People, and we here with John Thoumire are going to show you around the garden and ask some local designers about their show gardens, because there are 17 of art objects and show gardens, and a variety of plants, variety of flowers, and I think it's very, very beautiful just being here.
And Elena, it looks like you have a beautiful day for it as well.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna show you around. It's very, very lovely and a big place, and we are really happy, very lucky to have such a weather, because it's sunny, it's warm, windy, just a wee bit, and yeah, all people here, as I can see it, they enjoy, again, just being here. Yeah. And, you know, garden design has become more and more popular in Russia, because like 20 or 30 years ago, people used to have their gardens only for like planting vegetables or edible berries, like, you know, potatoes, cucumbers, tomatoes, strawberries, etc. But nowadays people are more focused on the beauty of the garden itself rather than on its like practical sides. And I think it's great. It's great that finally we because beauty saves the world, you know.
Lena, can I ask a question though?
Yeah, of course.
Why do you think there is that change in attitude?
Actually, it's a very good question, because as many of you may already know that Russian people have always been interested in garden design, in planting, because typically every Russian has a kind of country house. In Russia, we call it dacha, right? And so people normally spend their weekends and holidays at dachas. They don't go like to Europe or abroad. They really like their dachas.
Would you say is the dacha almost like an allotment, which is what's used here in the UK for particularly people in towns? Is it for growing vegetables and plants?
Yeah, but I think there is a difference because when you have dacha in Russia, you own the land and normally you build a house. So you can live in the house, you can live in this house only like, again, at the weekend or on holiday, but still it's your land, your building.
Do you have a dacha?
No, I don't. But all my friends have dachas, all of them. And all my students have dachas.
Well, I think we have an interview with a designer at 2:20. Would you like to show us about some of the festival until then?
Yeah, I think it's a very good idea to show you. So this is actually this is the entrance. You can see the entrance right there, right?
Yeah.
This is the main stage because normally they have a live music concert here every evening. You see?
Very nice.
Yes, this is the main pond of the location. You can see it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful.
And so for those of you who have just joined in or just tuned in, this is the Gardens and People Festival from Moscow. This is a 10-day event. And obviously we are right in the middle of it at the moment. Some of the awards have already been shown. We're going to show you the People's Choice winner. But the main awards will be handed out on Sunday, I believe. And that will be for the large show gardens. So some lovely, lovely flowers there.
Yeah. You see it has the Latin names.
Yes. Very important.
Yeah. So they have a name in Russian and in Latin, and I know it's very professional.
Well, I'm not even going to try and do the Russian.
Yeah, Russian is a completely difficult language, I can say.
It is. I have hello and I have goodbye, and I'm struggling after that. So what is around you right now?
Around me, this is a very, very interesting show garden. It has the stairs and it has kind of an old vehicle.
Yes, this is one we will be doing an interview with a little bit later. This is a show garden called Constant Variable. Mm-hmm. The designer was Maria Seleshneva, and there has a certain eco-friendly idea to it. The brief for this year's festival was, if you excuse me and I just check that, the brief for the entire festival, all the designers, all the art objects was for difficult age. And now those of you who have been to show gardens or have taken part in show gardens, you'll understand that you have to design your garden or whatever thing you're doing for the show towards that brief. Sometimes it can be quite open and open to interpretation. So from my understanding of constant variable, sorry about that, difficult age, and constant variable's take on it is a slightly ecological sense in that it's recognizing and realizing that nature takes precedence and it will always take back what we took from it. And so you can see there's a car here which has never been displayed in a Russian show garden before. It's a really old car, and it's been specially planted up around it to appear as if nature is taking it back. And this is the nature of these show gardens. Again, I realize that quite a few of you will have been to these before, but for those of you who have not been, they're great events. They're great places to take ideas from for your own garden. Some of them, they may seem a little bit unrealistic. For example, like a giant truck in the back of your car, in the back of your garden. But you know what? You can run with it. You can take the idea of an old object and things growing around it and it can reinforce the idea of the permanence of nature, your love of nature, or you can do something totally different. Elena, could we have a little bit of a look at the planting?
The look of the planting of this particular object, right?
Well, around about the truck, we can start with that, just because I'm aware of the time. Okay, so we have hydrangeas. I think I'm seeing some helenium, and yes, so I mean there is some lovely planting going on, and we have some tall grasses I can't quite see from here, but yes, hydrangeas, helenium, in lovely bloom as well. The other thing that maybe not everybody realizes, there's an idea, and Elena, please stop me if I'm wrong about this.
Okay.
But there is a perception for people who just kind of witness Russia from outside that it's always snowy. There's a lot of snow, there's lots of ice, there's lots of everything. But Moscow's placing as a continental climate means its summers get incredibly warm.
Yeah, that's true.
The winters are very, very severe, but the summers can get warm. Elena, would you like to tell us a little bit more?
About Russian winters and summers?
Yeah.
I think actually this summer has been the best of maybe for the last, again, 30 years, because we have very mild summer, not hot, not rainy, not windy. Like every day we have temperature like 25, 27 degrees. And it's raining, but only at night. So I think it's good for plants and flowers, right?
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, you still have to be careful what you're planting because, I mean, with your temperatures, I think they can reach 35 plus Celsius in summer. Is that right?
Yes.
So, I mean, there are going to be plants that will not survive that sort of heat. But yes, certainly. The summers in Russia and Moscow we're talking about at the moment, you can get some of the most fantastic plants and most fantastic flower displays. I have seen evidence of this. Elena has been very good to send me occasional photos of parks in and around Russia and Moscow. And some of the planted borders are absolutely stunning. Really, I mean, really amazing perennial borders using plants that you honestly will not get to flower here, not easily, not in the early time frame that they are in Moscow. The other thing I should also say, though, I mean, actually, you know what, it was more about climates and things like that. It's not that interesting. So I'm going to go back to Elena. Elena, can we have another look at another garden? You showed me a little bit earlier. It's a section that is devoted to teaching people how to plant herbs.
Yes, we can go right now there, because what I want to say is that for those people who, it doesn't matter, you have dacha or you don't, all people, again, like almost all people, they really like planting herbs or flowers just in the city flats, just maybe on the balconies, because it's very, very typical of Russian people. They always like having some fresh basil just on the table in the kitchen. So,
do you have fresh basil?
Yes, I do.
There you go.
Yeah, I have fresh mint, basil, sage, etc. You know, it's maybe because we have a very, again, warm summer. It's very easy to plant it even on your own balcony in a city flat. So this is actually the idea how you can grow these herbs. This is all, I think, lavender, right? Mint, rosemary.
Yes, I'm seeing those.
So normally it's like look like it's look like you can have it on your own like balcony, you see, and here you can see only like Russian names for these herbs.
But I think this is a really good example that I do think people watching, wherever you are, if you're living in an apartment or a very small house, you can absolutely have these things. These are troughs, and you can have these on your windowsills.
Russian? No? Is everything okay?
I can still see and hear you.
Yeah,
Can
because
you see and hear us?
yes, now I can. I just want to show you this. This particular area is used for having like master classes, so people can go and get some tips, some advices from professionals how to grow plants again, not outside, but inside in their flats. You see?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the area, yeah, and this is again another set of beautiful, flowers. You see, it's edible. It's what again?
Yeah,
Still,
edible.
we Russians do love plant something edible.
Well, I am hoping, we were told by the organizers that we might be able to have a quick interview.
Yes,
with,
exactly.
With some of the growers. So we will have to hunt those guys down, I think. But right now, I think we should start making our way to under 16 and over, the first of our large large show gardens.
Yes, I'm right here, and you can see how it looks like.
Okay. Another thing you'll notice actually that unlike traditionally in UK show gardens, people are allowed to actually wander and walk in amongst the gardens here. And it appears to be a far more interactive experience than the show garden situations here in the UK, where you're very much fenced off. There's no going into a show garden. So obviously here it is more interactive. And I actually quite like that. I think the idea of getting right in there and seeing how the garden is and what you can actually take out for your own garden is really important. I would actually quite like to see some of our garden shows take a little bit of inspiration from this. I think this is a good idea. So, Elena, shall we see if we can talk with the designer quickly?
Yes. So this is actually, the designer. You can, yeah.
And would you introduce her for us? Hello there, from Scotland.
So this is Maria, and this is Marina. Yeah. So they're both designers for this beautiful show garden. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hello.
That's fantastic. It looks wonderful.
Uh-huh. So what questions would you like to ask? Uh-huh.
Well, first I would just like to hear about the inspiration for the show garden.
Ага, ну вот вдохновило что, да.
Источником вдохновения явились, у нас такая тема социальная. Мы хотели...
So it's kind of social theme.
Хотели вернуть людей из интернет-пространства в живое общение.
So they really want to bring back people from being online to real physical life. And now it's very important.
Мы хотели напомнить обществу о наличии книжной литературы, бумажной литературы. Вот она здесь представлена в библиотеке.
You can see all the books behind, right? So one of the main aim of this project, of this design, is just to remind people that there are still real books, real paper books, and encourage people to read more, not just go online.
Также, конечно, хотелось вспомнить о настоящих красивых рисованных иллюстрациях, именно рисованных руками, потому что это очень ценное такое достояние.
Yes, and also one of the very important thing is people should not only read books, but people should really read books with illustrations, with real hand-painted pictures, because now every child now likes cartoons and movies, but still paper books with handmade illustrations are still very, very valuable.
Okay.
So actually you can see the pictures that been painted by children, you see?
Okay, very nice.
This is a part of the project itself, you see? Yeah, so what would you like to ask?
Well, I couldn't help but notice that they have...
And also the quotes from their favorite authors.
В частности, Tove Jansson.
Tove Jansson, maybe you know it, right?
Вот. Это то,
Of
на
course.
чем мы выросли, и выросли наши дети. Вот. То есть как бы это настолько актуально в наши дни, вот, что вообще этот сад, он создан по мотивам любимых сказок, персонажей, опять же, иллюстраций.
So yes, this design was based on favorite characters, authors, books that these books been read not just by parents but children and grandchildren.
И поэтому тот, кто сюда заходит, даже не читая описание, останавливается, ну, неравнодушный, конечно, зритель, и вспоминает, что он находится в какой-то сказке. То есть это ощущается просто по интерьеру, по дубу, который у нас в центре в саду.
So the atmosphere of this show garden is definitely fairy tale. You can feel it when you're inside or outside. Yeah.
То есть он такой скандинавский стиль некий имеет, но это именно потому что создан по прообразам персонажей сказочных.
Yeah, fairy tale it is.
I would like to ask about the tree growing through the middle of the...
Этот образ сейчас пока это не видно, но вечером полностью сад преобразится и будет совсем сказка.
Окей. Что вот про дерево можете сказать?
Сказочное дерево, которое прорастает сквозь, несмотря ни на что, архитектуру. Но мы хотели объединить здесь и живое, и неживое одновременно. То есть, знаете, как была такая сказка, да, Оля Лукой, все ее знают, когда росли булочки внутри на деревьях, когда лианы завивали весь интерьер комнаты. Вот, поэтому вот тут хотелось вот именно вот это живое вписать в дом, именно чтобы...
Yeah, so this oak tree has a very, very, like, it's not just an oak tree, it's a symbol of a fairy tale, and it symbolizes that you can mix like life and something stable, some building. So this oak tree is literally growing inside the house. You understand?
Could we see the tree?
Yes, of course. Yeah, it's a very big one.
Yeah, I love that. And can you ask if that tree, if they built the garden around it, or did they bring the tree in to the actual event?
Дом же был построен вокруг дуба, правильно?
Да. Дом привезен, и вокруг него строили дом, потому что дуб весит 2,5 тонны.
Yeah, the oak tree, of course, was brought because it weighs like 2.5 tons. Yes, and yes, all the building was built around it.
It's very impressive. And one last question: what has been your favorite experience of the festival so far?
А какой ваш самый вот приятный опыт из этого фестиваля, вот именно этого года?
Нам больше всего ценно то, что люди вышли из дома, и то, что они не потеряли необходимость видеть красоту. Вообще, в принципе, то, что к живому люди неравнодушны. Вот, и вот это, пожалуй, вот жажда общения. Это
общение, встречи, разговоры. Хоть и запрещено обнимашки, это вот мы добились.
Yeah, okay. So the most important thing is that people really can go out now and communicate. Even they can't still hug each other. Yes, it's still prohibited, but people can see the beauty of the nature. People can enjoy it and use it. Like Russian people are still passionate about the nature, about being like around these again beautiful plants and flowers and trees. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Спасибо.
So you see, this is the back like wall of this garden, and this is.
And these are the quotes the designers were talking about.
Yes, this is actually this is a Lewis Carroll quote. Yeah, it's very very nice. Not just again, and this is kind of a small drawing. You see?
Yeah, I like the design. It's very striking.
Yeah.
And I know I have read their own submitted documents for the garden. And they talk a lot about fairy tales and stories that they grew up with, and just Russian children grew up with. And I love the message that the garden is trying to put across. Do you think that the garden is a success?
I can see that this particular garden is a very big success because I can see a lot of people just queuing just to enter. And it definitely, when I was inside, I feel like, yes, I'm in kind of one of the fairy tales. It's, yes, I really want to see it and just start reading these books.
Yeah, yeah. So I know that is kind of considered to be quite high up for the possibility of getting a good medal for the gardens this year.
Yeah, yeah.
When they are announced on Sunday, I will post information about the winners for everybody to see, for those who aren't following gardens and people. Although I suggest you do start following them, and me, and Elena. So we're going to move on to, it's actually going to be an art object, okay? So the festival has a lot of these as well. And this object is called Terra Incognita. No, it's something else. I think we have a chat with the designer, don't we, Elena?
Yes, we did.
So let's have a quick chat with the designer about it, and then we will actually go and have a proper look at it.
Yeah, we will try.
If she is available. There she is.
Yes, she's
hello
available.
again.
Yeah, hello again.
Hello again. Again, it is a beautiful piece of art. Could you tell us a little bit about it, please?
Да, можно просто рассказать, что вот опять же вдохновило, ну вот что вы говорили уже, в принципе.
Что вдохновило, да? Захотелось создать пространство, в котором человек мог бы побыть в уединении, наедине с собой, послушать себя, принять какие-то решения.
So yes, this was the main inspiration is to let people be like on their own, like not just in an isolated place, but just hear its like own thoughts, own emotions.
И чтобы почувствовал человек себя в защищенном пространстве, что мир поддерживает, да.
So as the same person can feel protection and support from the world.
И данная концепция, она родилась из образа Мадонны, которая держит ребенка на руке.
So the main idea is like Madonna holding her baby.
И сейчас у нас есть две руки или два.
Like two hands, two arms, or two wings. And actually now it's inside this kind of a maze.
И люди, заходя в наш арт-объект, так же как в жизни, принимают решение, каким путем они пойдут.
Yes, and people can choose their own path when they just enter the show garden.
Либо они идут привычным путем.
They can go straight and.
И тогда их водят по кругу, выводят обратно в мир.
Yeah, and if they choose the straight path, they just actually go nowhere.
Либо человек останавливается немножко, осознаннее принимает решение, куда он идет.
Oh yes, a person can choose like more narrow path and more complicated, but.
И тогда он попадает в закрытое пространство, в уединенное пространство, и может там побыть с собой и с миром наедине с природой.
Yes, and so again, this person can finally find the very protected place, but the place where this person can be like himself.
And could I ask what it has been made out of?
Из чего он сделан?
Здесь есть металлический каркас, основа это березовые ветки и сосновая кора у нас на отсыпке.
Yes, I mean it definitely has some metal in it, but it's less like branches, all real branches.
Yeah, from what sort of tree? If you don't know, it's okay. It's okay. It's.
I don't know. Maybe you can recognize it yourself. No,
no, not great. I mean, I typically here you get willow weaving. Can we have one last question with the designer?
What is the question?
I would like to ask what is going to happen to this installation after the festival?
What will happen to this?
Yes.
А что вот дальше? Вот фестиваль закончится, что дальше с ним будет, с этим объектом?
Мы планируем данный объект предоставить в пространство загородное, которое занимается саморазвитием, проводит программы для людей, психологические программы, тренинги.
Спасибо большое. So this will be they will be given to kind of psychological society that helps people. Yes, and they establish some kind of community to help people like with psychological issues.
Okay, very good, very good.
But yeah, yes, because this is really, really. I'll try to show you right now.
Yeah.
This is really, really comfortable and cozy. You see?
Ah, yes. So,
yes. You see, now I'm sitting on this. Yeah, I'm already feel very, very comfortable and protected and being supported here. Just sitting on this chair.
So we've just been told by one of our guests that it's birch tree. So thank you very much for that. Thanks for helping.
Yeah.
So what is coming to mind for me with this is it's almost like a grotto.
Yes,
And
definitely.
these are traditionally kind of Renaissance garden, large-scale things. You will find them built into rocks in these historic gardens in, well, Europe mostly, northern Italy, France, they are a piece of it. But there is a case to be made for, if you want, neo-grottos. And that's what I feel this is like. Because a grotto's main point is for contemplation. You go in and you go there to be just relax and think about things. I think maybe historically there were places for kind of just when you didn't want to go to a chapel, you went here. And they had sculpture and they had water features. And there were these real places for quiet contemplation. And even from like these 3,000 miles, I do find that it feels like a very nice, very relaxed environment. Because I think it is open at the top. You can see the sky.
Yeah.
So you have this enclosed feeling, yet you still have the beauty of the sky above your head. And for me, it wouldn't fit in my garden, but I would certainly not mind having something like it.
Yeah, it's one of the, I think, most comfortable gardens that I've ever been to.
And now, would you like to go to see the People's Choice winner?
Yeah, I'm happy to show it to you.
Apologies for everyone if it feels that we're rushing through this. We don't have an awful lot of time, and we're trying to keep to a schedule as well, where we have a lot of interviews.
This is kind of People's Choice Award, yeah?
This is the People's Choice Award, and this is called On the Edge. Now, I believe the designer isn't here until tomorrow, so we just have to take from it what we can. But I have the brief in front of me, and so it's been designed by Elena Bikova and Igor Vednishki. Apologies, Elena, if I'm massacring your language. I really don't mean to. So the idea is, to be fair, according to this, it's actually about understanding teenagers and the crisis they go through as they go through those teenage years. And there's nothing here specifying the significance of this almost sci-fi-esque triangular arch. And it's certainly a little bit narrow to be a gateway. But remember, this is an art object. It's not actually a designed garden. But the planting certainly makes an awful lot of this. I think it's a very nice way to actually display these art objects. Unlike Terra Incognita, which didn't appear to have any planting around it, it was just the object itself. I think that was strong enough to stand by itself as well. On the edge, it seems to be made of metal and stone, possibly marble. And it very much is a statement piece. And we have some plantings of what could be either lithiums or salvias. Elena, is there water to do with this?
Yes.
Oh, and I never saw that. You have a figurine, what looks like a glass figurine.
Yes.
Braced in between the two walls. So I'm sorry that the designer is not here. I think it sounds like there's a fantastic story behind this. But look at that, the actual sculpture itself is also a water feature. So definitely I feel as I get closer to this, I want to know more. I don't know about you guys. What do you think, to the audience, if you can quickly type. What do you think of this so far? Do you like it? Keep in mind that this is the People's Choice Award. So clearly the people who have seen it in person have enjoyed it.
Yes, I think everyone enjoys it, and everyone, literally everyone, try to take picture in front of it.
Well, apparently you are now also part of the picture.
Yeah, and also all these flowers, they smell very, very good.
Yeah.
So when you come
do
close,
you think the scent of the flowers adds to it?
I think yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are now coming on to the time for our next interview, which is with the designers of quite a spectacular garden. It's called Constant Variable. And we've already seen this actually. This is the one with the old truck. And it really is a large exhibition garden. And the designer has been good enough to agree to interview with us. Apologies for kind of me scrolling here. I'm just getting all the information back. So this is the one that I from her brief, I felt there was certainly an ecological comment or commentary going on, but maybe we can find out a little bit more from the designer herself. So
unfortunately, I can't see the designer right here, right now.
Well, that's okay. I mean, for the moment, I mean, we still have some time.
Yeah.
Let's have a little bit of a closer look at the garden, if you don't mind.
This garden, this garden itself, right?
Of Constant Variable.
Yeah.
So what looks like it could be trying to be a rockery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I can't quite see what the planting is. But for those of you, again, keep in mind that these show gardens, these large show gardens, have only gone in and only been installed probably within about a week. So there's hard landscaping that has to go in. There's basic soil preparation. You have to get your plants all there from the supplier looking great. Is this it? Are we ready?
Yes, we are ready. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Hello again from Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
So again, could you please tell us a little bit about the garden? Constant Variable.
Можете просто рассказать, что-то я буду прям по ходу переводить. Ага. Просто вот идея вдохновения, то, что вы, в принципе, уже говорили. Да.
Идея у нас была такова, что мы как бы, всегда участвовали как партнеры, и в этот раз решили поучаствовать сами.
Yeah, so they always been like a sponsor for this festival, but this year, for the first time, they decided like to take part to compete.
Mm-hmm.
И подумали, чего же еще не было такого на садах и людях, и вроде как не припомнилась нам никакая машинка.
Yes, and they started thinking like about very, very unusual projects. And actually, yes, any vehicle has never been presented at the festival.
Поэтому, собственно говоря, она и стала нашим вдохновлением, нашим уже, так сказать, символом этого сада.
So, yes, the vehicle itself became a symbol of the garden, so the center of the garden.
Его уже называют не постоянная переменная, как его название, а тот самый сад с машинкой.
Yes, and now it's kind of, it's changed its name. Now it's a show garden with a vehicle.
Well, it certainly has a vehicle.
Yeah.
Can I ask the designer if she had why they chose the plants that they did that went into the garden?
Чем руководствовались, когда именно вот выбирали растения? То есть именно как они выглядят или что-то вот, почему именно эти растения?
Нам надо было, во-первых, показать такое немножко запустение, да, того, что человек ушел.
Mm-hmm. So they wanted to show some like rural, so like place been left by people.
Yeah.
А во-вторых, это то, что здесь есть и видовые растения, цуга канадская, тис ягодный, хоть и сформированный, микробиота, осока грея, и также гибриды. И точно так же, что если у нас человек уйдет отсюда, у нас будут, так же, как и в нашем саду, гибриды, и гибриды превосходить над видовыми растениями.
Mm-hmm. So it's like hybrids. They can overcome such special sorts of plants.
And is that the reason for using those hybrids? Is that also to go with the brief of the design, which I notice has an ecological slant to it?
Yes, exactly. Yes, the hybrids works for this purpose as well.
And what is Maria's hopes for this garden after the festival?
Да, что будет с ним, с этим садом после фестиваля?
Он переедет к нам в садовый центр Ромашкино парк.
It will be just moved to the like Romashkina Park. It's a big garden, right? So they have their own location, so that before they've been like sponsors.
Okay. Well,
То есть
this
люди
might
могут
be
видеть у вас на вашей территории.
Да, но вроде бы как уже иву покупают, от Цуги тоже идет разговор, но немножко, наверное, модернизируем как-то, но будет он.
Yes, it will stay, yeah.
And just what has been Maria's favorite part of the festival so far?
А что вам больше всего в этом году понравилось в фестивале?
Слушайте, ну вот лично я, да, участвую первый раз, хотя я до этого участвовала еще и в конкурсе проект, когда там первый год, второй год они были, и я еще училась. Поэтому мне новое все, и мне здесь нравится, естественно, тоже все.
Because it's like a first time for this designer. This year is her first year, so actually she enjoys everything.
Well, could you please congratulate Maria? It's a lovely garden, and good luck for Sunday.
Да, спасибо вам огромное и поздравления вот из Шотландии, потому что действительно покорен вот и дизайном, и выбором растений, действительно, это очень здорово.
Спасибо, очень приятно.
А у вас есть какая-то, может быть, визитка именно ваша?
Нет, именно моей нет, есть мои закончились.
Все понятно, да, спасибо. So, yeah.
So what about you? What do you think of the garden? Constant variable.
I think it's very, very unusual garden, yes. And it's on the one hand, it's can looks like apocalyptic, but it's still a very comfortable. It's comfortable just being around it.
Yeah. So I think ideally I would like to try and find the garden I Am Anna.
Yes, here it is. It's one of my favorite.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So this, we have some, I forget the name of it at the moment, but it's basically it's a type of iron that they've put the sculpture in, and as it oxidizes, it turns orange. It's very, very good for sculptural work within a garden. So you can see here, again, I'm going to read about this, unless, Elena, can you see any of the designers about?
No, at the moment I can't see.
Okay, so we're gonna have to just go via the brief on this one. So this garden is, that's it. Thank you very much, Maria. It's cotton steel. There you go. Fantastic. Totally left my head. So I Am Anna. This is a garden celebrating women, women of Russia, women across the world. And one of the inspirations for it, I believe, is Joan of Arc. And the idea is almost like a phoenix rising from the ashes. That's what the central sculpture can be taken as. Now, Elena, I know you like this garden particularly. Would you like to show us some of the sections of it that you particularly liked?
I really like this part, this section, you see?
Yeah, the paving.
Yeah, the paving, it definitely looked like ashes.
Okay.
So if this particular sculpture symbolizes the fire, so this is literally the ashes.
Yeah, and let me, can you hold the plant? So we got some Hushera, and is that Hushera? I can't quite tell. My video has gone a little bit weird. we back? Are we good?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I would say as well that the planting is there to mimic this idea of fire and flames, which I really like that you can do. This is something that I love about plants, because you really can add so much. You can really tell a story if you think about your plants. And I think this is a really good example of that. So we have the rising from the phoenix rising from the ashes, and the cotton steel, again, thank you for that one. And you've got the various plants all around it, which have similar colorings to this. And the whole thing adds a certain amount of symmetry. As Maria's pointed out, it's a nice deep colored planting scheme as well. Really like lovely highlights from the berries on the bushes. And I'm trying to see here, there's certainly a lot of underplanting going on. And yes, even the mulching, which may or may not be, but I suspect the designer will have chosen this mulch for this particular coloring. Elena, could we pan the camera up a little bit?
Yeah, like this?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I agree with you, Elena. I think this is quickly becoming one of my favorites, maybe because of the planting and the interest of the planting.
And you see, this is kind of the light here.
Yeah. Oh,
So
so we have lighting as well.
Yes, I think actually in the evening it looks even better, much better in the evening.
Yes, I would love to. I would love to see it in the evening as well.
Yeah, maybe I can send you some pictures. Yeah.
So I mean, Elena is going there. I'm hoping Elena will continue to send us some pictures, and I'll just continue to post throughout the next few days to keep everyone updated. Now we're getting very close to when we have to close the live show. Do you think, Lena, we might be able to get a hold of some of the organizers and have a quick word with the organizers?
Unfortunately, I don't think they are available at the moment, because they've been very, very busy all day, and they've already spent kind of a lot of time with me when I was preparing.
Well, that is good of them. I noticed Gardens and people have actually joined us for their show as well. So hello, Gardens and people. Thank you for joining us. Your gardens are looking really beautiful, really beautiful.
Yes, and also I would like to show some of the beginners' gardens, some amateur garden designers. Would you like?
Please.
Because I think
yes, I think that's great.
Minutes, okay. So this is all about the gardens that have been made by students. You see?
And do we are we able to see some of the names for these beginner gardens?
Yes, of course.
Actually, some of these are lovely.
Yeah, you see?
Yes. This it reminds me. So the first garden I ever put in for a show was a pallet garden, and it was 2 by 2 meters. And I definitely feel these are outshining my own. I had this giant kind of case in the middle of it that detracted somewhat. C'est la vie. But these are great. A little bit of statuary. Looks like possibly euonymus. But they are, I mean, they are very, very nice. They are very well done. And I like that the amateur gardeners have also been given quite a lot of space to work with. And look at this design. Look at this design. This is completely different.
Yeah. This is also one of my favorite.
And why is that?
I don't know. I like weird things.
That's fair enough. It's definitely hitting high on the Richter scale for weird. But I like this. I think it is completely different. Is there is there a board with an explanation for the garden?
No, what I can see it's only the name. But it's not even a Russian name. It's maybe I can find out some information later.
If you could, I would appreciate that.
Yes, definitely I will do it because I'm really interested. It's the weirdest one.
Okay. Well, in the event, unless there is something else you would like us to see in the gardens, I know, Elena.
Yeah.
Because we're very aware of the whole COVID thing across the world at the moment. Would you like to kind of just talk about the atmosphere of the festival?
The atmosphere, it's a very lively atmosphere, and all I can see, all people are smiling. Actually, people can bring dogs here. I'm surprised. Yeah, so people can walk their dogs. Their children are playing right now. Maybe you can see. Children are happy, dogs are happy, people are happy. Everyone can, smell the flowers, touch the flowers, and again, maybe even play some music instruments, you see?
Well, okay, John Bonham. Right. Well, look, Elena, большое спасибо for taking the time today to actually show us around. I'm sure everybody is really appreciative of you taking the time to do this. I am extremely thankful for it. I really am. So I really hope. Do you think you'll stay at the festival a little longer?
Yeah, I think I'm going to stay for longer because I still haven't any pictures.
Yeah.
Only video.
Well, I am jealous because
I want to play this instrument, later.
Well, I'm jealous. It's raining here in Scotland. It doesn't look it, but I'm watching my plants getting a soaking, which is good, I suppose. But again, thank you again so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for joining us.
Again, yeah.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. So again, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that. I thoroughly did. And I hope you get an idea of just global garden design and how everybody's ideas are different. But it's still about the plants. It's still about enjoying nature, which it's a great thing. It's a fantastic thing. I'm done for now. You never know, I might be back. We might try and go live again, maybe on Sunday. I don't know. It all depends on gardens and people. But thank you again for joining me and Elena here at John Thoumire Garden Designs. And for more information, please just rewatch this, ask me a comment, private message me, Facebook, all these places. And again, thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you soon.